The space station Orion Gate was always loud. Machines hummed, ships docked, and voices from many worlds filled the air. Humans were rare here, and when they appeared, they were often ignored. One human man stood alone near the cargo sector. His name was Ethan Cross. He wore a simple work suit, old and scratched. He was fixing a broken power panel, doing a job no one else wanted. He did not talk much. He did not look important. To most aliens, he was nothing. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A sharp alarm screamed through the station. Red warning lights flashed. Security drones flew past Ethan at full speed. People shouted. Something was wrong. Ethan looked up. He saw guards chasing something small, very small, smaller than a human child. It ran fast, slipping between crates and cables. Then it fell of him. Ethan froze. The creature slowly stood up. It looked like a tiny girl. She was not human. Her skin shimmered softly like starlight. Her eyes were large and glowing, filled with fear. She was shaking. She looked up at Ethan, and then she ran to him. She grabbed his hand with both of hers. Her hands were warm. Her grip was tight. In a small, shaking voice, she said words that made no sense. "You are my husband. Please don't leave me." The noise around them stopped. People stared. Aliens gasped. Then laughter broke out. A human? A husband? To a non-human child-sized alien? The guards stopped running. They looked confused, then angry. "Step away from the creature," one guard said. The tiny girl moved behind Ethan. She pressed her face against his back. "No," she said. "He is chosen." Ethan's heart was beating fast. He did not understand what was happening. He had never seen her before. He had never spoken to her. Yet she held him like he was the only safe place in the galaxy. I don't know her," Ethan said slowly. The girl looked up at him. Tears filled her glowing eyes. "You helped the old cleaner yesterday," she said. "You fixed his machine. You did not ask for payment." "You smiled," Ethan remembered. An alien worker had been struggling. Ethan had helped without thinking. The girl nodded like she was sure. "That is why," she said. "You protect the weak. That is our law." More guards arrived. Station. Leaders followed. Their faces were cold. "This is serious," one leader said. "That child is from the Luminari," whispers spread. The Luminari were almost legends, small in body, endless in power, rare, hunted. "She has performed a life bond claim," another leader said, "with a human." Laughter turned into fear. "That is impossible," someone said. The girl stepped forward. Her voice became strong. "It is done." A soft light flashed around her and Ethan. A strange symbol appeared on Ethan's wrist. It burned, then faded. Machines beeped. Wildly, energy levels spiked. Silence fell again. The leader's face turned pale. "The bond is real," he whispered. Ethan felt dizzy. His arm felt warm. His mind felt sharp, clear, awake in a new way. "I don't understand," he said. The leader looked at him with something new in his eyes, not laughter, not anger, fear. "If you refuse her," the leader said slowly, "she will be taken, sold, studied. She will not survive long." The girl looked at Ethan. She did not cry now. "If you accept," the leader continued, "you will make powerful enemies. Many worlds will want you dead." The station waited. Ethan looked down at the tiny girl. She was small, weak, alone. He thought of all the times humans were mocked, ignored, treated as less. He remembered why he came to the stars, not for power, but for hope. He closed his hand around hers. "I will not give her away," he said. The girl smiled for the first time. Far away, unseen ships changed course. The galaxy had just noticed one human dot the silence after Ethan's words felt heavy. The space station no longer sounded alive. No machines hummed loudly, no one laughed. Every eye was fixed on the human and the tiny alien girl holding his hand. Then the voices came back, loud, angry. "You are insane," one alien officer said. His skin was dark blue, his eyes narrow. "You think you can protect a luminary?" Another laughed. "He is just a worker. Look at his clothes. Look at his hands." Ethan did not reply. He stood still. The girl pressed closer to him, her small fingers tightening around his. Station guards formed a circle around them. Weapons powered on, glowing softly, not aimed yet, but ready. A tall station leader stepped forward. His robe showed rank and authority. His voice was calm but sharp. "Human," he said, "you do not understand what you have done. The Luminari are not children. They are living keys to ancient power." The girl lifted her head. Her voice was quiet, but clear. "I am a child," she said, "and I am afraid." That made the room uncomfortable. The leader continued, "Her people are nearly gone. Many worlds hunt them. If they find out she bonded with you, they will come." "Let them," a merchant shouted. "Give the girl to us now. We can sell her safely." Ethan turned his head slowly. "She is not for sale," he said. More laughter followed. "You. Humans always speak like heroes," someone said. "But you die like insects." The girl looked up at Ethan. "If you release me," she said, "they will take me today. If you keep me, they will come later." Ethan swallowed. "What happens if I do nothing?" The station leader answered, "There's no doing nothing. The bond forces a choice." A guard stepped forward. "By station law, non-humans under. Threat must be secured." He reached for the girl. The moment his hand moved, the air changed. The lights dimmed. A low hum filled the hall. The symbol on Ethan's wrist appeared again, glowing softly. Ethan felt heat rush through his arm, into his chest. His heart slowed. His fear faded. The guard froze mid-step. "What is happening?" Someone shouted. The girl closed her eyes. "The bond is protecting itself," she said. The guard was pushed back by invisible force. He slid across the floor and hit a wall. No blood, no broken bones, just fear. Everyone stepped back. "That should not be possible," the leader whispered. Ethan looked at his hands. They were shaking, but he felt stronger. Not powerful, not angry, just steady. "I don't want to fight," Ethan said. "I just won't abandon her." A female alien scientist pushed through the crowd. Her voice trembled with excitement. "This bond is old," she said. "Older than our laws. The Luminari choose based on moral instinct, not strength." She pointed at Ethan. She did not choose a warrior. She chose a protector. That made the laughter stop. Still, fear remained. "You will bring war here," the leader said. "The station cannot protect you." "Then don't," Ethan replied. "I will leave." The leader's eyes widened. "You would abandon your safety?" Ethan looked down at the girl again. "I never had much safety anyway." The girl smiled softly. "Your kind is strange," she said. "You protect without reward." Before anyone could respond, alarms screamed again. Different this time, deeper, dangerous. A voice echoed through the station. "Unknown ships detected. Long range, military." "Class," the leader turned pale. The scientist whispered, "They already know." Screens across the hall lit up. Dark ships, sharp and silent, moving through space. The girl squeezed Ethan's hand. "They are early," she said. Ethan took a slow breath. He stood taller. He did not know how to fight. He did not know how to win. But he knew one thing. He would not run. And somewhere in the darkness beyond the station, the hunters smiled, believing the human would break. They were wrong. The station shook as the warning lights kept flashing. People moved fast now. Fear replaced laughter. Guards ran to battle positions. Merchants closed their stalls. The name Luminari spread like fire. Ethan stood still in the middle of the chaos. The tiny girl stayed close to him, calm in a strange way. Her glowing eyes watched everything. "They will not attack yet," she said softly. "They want me alive." Ethan looked down at her. "Who are you really?" She hesitated, then nodded. "You deserve to know." They moved into a quiet side chamber, guarded but watched closely. The station leaders followed, along with the scientist. Everyone wanted answers. "My name is Aera," the girl said. "I am Luminari," the scientist leaned forward. "Your kind vanished centuries ago." Aera shook her head. "We were hunted, not vanished." She raised her small hand. A soft light formed above it. Images appeared in the air. Worlds. Stars. Long ago, the Luminari were not small. They were born large in spirit, not body. They could connect to life itself. They healed worlds. They stopped wars. They balanced power other races feared. Them. They said we controlled fate, Aera said. So they tried to control us. Her image changed. Luminari ships burning. Children taken. Families broken. They learned our weakness, she continued. "We bond," Ethan frowned. "Bond?" "When a Luminari chooses," Aera said, "our power links to another being. A protector. A guide. A family." The station leader crossed his arms. "You bonded with a human. Why?" Aera looked at Ethan. "Because humans feel pain and still choose kindness." That surprised many. She continued. "Most races choose strength, rank, weapons. Humans choose people." Ethan remembered his life. Small jobs. No medals, no glory. Just trying to survive and help when he could. "You saw me before?" he asked. Yella said. "I watched for many days. I saw you defend workers who were not your kind. I saw you share food, fix machines, walk away from insults." Her voice grew firm. "You were strong where it mattered." The leader shook his head. "This bond gives him access to your power." Aera nodded. "Only if he protects. Power fades with cruelty." The scientist's hands trembled. "This changes everything." Suddenly, Ethan felt a sharp pain in his chest. He gasped and fell to one knee. Aera grabbed his face gently. "Do not fight it," she said. "You are sensing me." Ethan's vision changed. He saw through her eyes. Stars felt closer. Sounds sharper. He could feel energy flowing around him, like a quiet river. He stood slowly. His fear was gone. "This is not power," Ethan said. "This is connection." Aera smiled. A guard rushed in. "Enemy ships have stopped outside weapon range. They are sending a message." The leader activated the screen. A tall alien appeared. "Cold eyes, metallic skin. Return the Luminari child," the alien said. "She belongs to us." Aera stepped forward. "I belong to no one." The alien laughed. "You are bound to a human." "Weak choice." Ethan moved beside her. "She chose." "Me, that means something." The alien stared at him. "You think that bond protects you?" "I think it changes you," Ethan replied. The alien's smile faded. "Then we will test it." The screen went dark. The room was silent again. The station leader spoke slowly. "You have made enemies that do not forgive." Ethan looked at Aera. "I didn't plan this." She nodded. "Neither did I, but it is right." She touched his wrist. The symbol glowed faintly. "The bond will grow," she said. "But only if you stay human." Ethan took a deep breath. Outside the station, enemy ships waited. Inside, a human and a tiny alien girl stood together, bound not by force, but by choice. And for the first time in a long time, the galaxy felt uncertain about humanity. The enemy ships did not fire. That was the most frightening part. They stayed in place. Dark shapes against the stars, silent and patient. The station shields stayed up, humming under pressure. Every corridor was filled with tension. Ethan stood near the main viewport with Ira beside him. He could feel her presence inside his mind now. Not words, feelings, calm mixed with warning. They are waiting, Ira said. They want us to panic. The station council argued loudly behind them. We cannot fight a fleet like that, one leader shouted. They will destroy us, another said. Give them the girl and be done with it, a merchant begged. Ethan turned around. You promised protection to everyone on this station, he said. That includes her. A blue-skinned council member pointed at him. You brought this. Danger here. Ethan did not deny it. Then I will face it. Before anyone could answer, the lights dimmed again. A low pulse rolled through the station. Aura stiffened. They are scanning, she whispered. Ethan felt it too. A cold pressure pushing against his thoughts, searching. He clenched his fists. The mark on his wrist glowed brighter than before. Focus on me, Aya said. The bond can shield us. He closed his eyes. For a moment, he felt small. Human. Weak. Then he felt something else. Memories that were not his. Luminary protectors standing between darkness and helpless worlds. Not soldiers, guardians. The scan passed. Alarms quieted. They failed, the scientist said in disbelief. They cannot lock onto her signal. Anger replaced fear on the councils. Faces, they will attack next, the leader said. We must move the girl. Where? Ethan asked. Anywhere but here. Era looked up at him. They will follow, always. Suddenly, the first shot came, not at the station. At the docking bay. A small escort ship exploded, torn apart in seconds. Screams filled the comm channels. They are testing us, the leader said. Ethan felt heat rush through his chest. Not rage. Resolve. Let me go out, he said. The room froze. You are not a soldier, the leader snapped. I am her protector, Ethan replied. That is enough, Era stepped forward. If he goes alone, he will die. Ethan knelt to her level. Then come with me. The council shouted in protest, but the decision was already made. Minutes later, Ethan stood inside a small defense. Craft, no heavy weapons. No armor. Aurora sat beside him, strapped in, calm. The bay doors opened. Stars filled the screen. The enemy fleet loomed closer now. Sharp and silent. This is a mistake, the pilot's voice said over COMMS. Ethan spoke. Quietly, open channel. The screen lit up. The same metallic alien appeared. You bring the child to surrender, the alien said. No, Ethan replied. I bring a warning. The alien laughed. From a human? Ethan felt the bond surge. His voice stayed calm. She chose me because humans protect what is small, what is hunted, what is alone. The alien leaned closer. And you think that matters? It already does, Ethan said. Ara placed her hand over his. Light spread through the ship. Not blinding, steady, energy. Readings spiked across the enemy fleet. What are you doing? The alien demanded. Ethan answered honestly. Standing my ground. The smallest enemy ship suddenly lost power. Then another. Systems failed. Weapons went dark. Panic spread through the fleet. This is impossible, the alien shouted. Ira's voice echoed, layered with something ancient. Protection. Awakens power, she said. Ethan felt it. Then not strength. Trust. The defense craft turned back toward the station. Behind them, the enemy fleet pulled away. Damaged and confused. It was not a victory. It was a message. Back inside the station, silence greeted them. No laughter, no insults, only fear. And respect. The leader spoke at last. This was only the beginning. Ethan nodded. I know. Aura squeezed his hand. They will come again, she said. And next time, the galaxy would not underestimate a human. The station did not celebrate. There were no cheers, no smiles, no relief. Only silence and careful looks. What Ethan and Era had done outside the station spread fast across the network. Every screen replayed the moment when enemy ships lost power. Analysts argued. Soldiers watched in fear. A human had stood against a fleet that alone changed everything. Inside the council chamber, leaders from many races gathered in emergency session. Their voices were sharp, nervous. This incident cannot be hidden. One said, "Other powers will demand answers." Another warned, "The human must be controlled." A third suggested. Ethan stood at the center of the room. No weapons, no armor, just simple clothes. Aira sat on his shoulder now, light as a child, her glow soft and steady. "You are afraid of me," Ethan said calmly. The room went quiet. "You should be afraid of what you do not understand." Tall reptilian leader replied, "Your bond violates balance." Raised her head. Balance was broken long ago. She jumped down and stood on the table, small but fearless. "When the strong hunted the gentle," she continued. No one spoke of balance. Some leaders looked away. A scientist stepped forward. "The bond is changing him," she said. "But not how we feared." She activated a display. Data streamed across the air. His biology remains human. His strength remains human. What changed is response speed, perception, and energy flow. "In simple words," Ethan said, "I'm still human." "But connected," the leader said. "Yes," Ethan replied. "Connected to responsibility." A murmur spread through the room. Suddenly, a new transmission forced its way in. No request. No warning. The image of a massive alien council appeared. "Ancient beings. Old power. You harbor a bonded luminary," the lead voice said. "This threatens galactic order." Ethan stepped forward. "She threatened no one until she was hunted." "Humans have no standing here," the voice replied. Ara moved beside Ethan. "Then grant them standing." Laughter echoed from the screen. "You are small," the voice said. "Your protector is weaker still." Ethan did not raise his voice. "You judge strength wrong." The council voice grew cold. "Return the child, or face sanctions, blockades, war." The station leaders turned to Ethan, panic in their eyes. "You will doom us all," one whispered. Ethan looked around the chamber. At the powerful. At the fearful. At the ones willing to sacrifice a child to stay safe. "I will not trade her life for comfort," he said. Ara placed her hand on his arm. "This is the trial," she said softly. The ancient council paused. "A trial?" the voice asked. "Yes." Arira replied. "You speak of order. Test the one who stands for it." Silence followed. Finally the council spoke. "Very well. A trial will be held." The station shook slightly as coordinates were transmitted. "A neutral world," the voice sighed. "There, the human will be judged." The transmission ended. Fear filled the chamber. "A trial means death," someone said. Ethan exhaled slowly. "Then I'll walk into it." The station leader stepped forward. "If you go alone." Ethan shook his head. "Humans don't do alone." Hours later, a small human fleet arrived. Old ships. Worn hulls. But they came. The human commander spoke clearly. "One of ours is threatened." No questions. No hesitation. Other races watched in silence. Era's eyes shone. "This is why I chose you," she said. Ethan looked at the human ships, then back. At the council chamber, "This trial won't judge me," he said. "It will judge humanity." The fleet jumped to light speed, across the galaxy. Watchers waited. They expected fear. They did not expect unity, and that mistake would change everything. Asterisk, the cause is Oscarisk. Neutral world was silent. It was a dead planet, gray and empty, chosen because no one claimed it. Above its surface floated a massive ring structure, ancient, cold, powerful. This was where trials ended, not began. Ethan's ship slowed as it approached the ring. Human vessels stopped at a distance, weapons offline by command of the Council. They could watch but not interfere. This is where they decide if we live. A pilot whispered. Ethan stood at the front viewport. Aurora stood in his arms now. She felt heavier than before, not in weight, but in meaning. They will try to break you, she said. Not with weapons, with choice. The docking gates opened. Ethan stepped onto the cold stone platform alone. No guards. No allies. The air felt thin but breathable. The ring hummed softly, like it was alive. The ancient council appeared as glowing forms around him, tall, inhuman. Watching. Human Ethan Cross, a voice echoed. You stand accused of destabilizing order. Ethan did not kneel. I stand. For someone who needed me, he said. Era was gently placed onto a pedestal beside him. Energy fields formed around her. She will not be harmed, the voice said. Unless you fail. Ethan clenched his jaw. Then begin. The first trial came without warning. The platform changed. Suddenly. Ethan was no longer there. He stood on Earth. Rain fell. Cold, heavy. He saw his past. His small apartment, empty, alone, bills unpaid. No family waiting. No future promised. A voice whispered, choose power and you will never feel this again. A vision appeared. Ethan as a commander, strong, feared, respected. He shook his head. Power didn't save anyone. The scene shattered. The second trial began. He stood on the space station again. But this time, Ara was gone. Guards surrounded him. Release her, they said, and you will walk free. He felt the fear, the relief of escape. Then he remembered her small hand, her trust. I won't trade a life for my safety, he said. The guards vanished. The third trial was worse. Era screamed. He saw her surrounded by enemies, hurt, crying. Give up, the voice said. Save yourself. Ethan felt his knees weaken. His heart broke. Then he felt the bond, not pulling him, holding him. I choose her, he said quietly. The vision stopped. Silence filled the ring. The council forms flickered. You have refused every offer, the voice said. Why? Ethan looked up. Because humanity is not about what we gain. It's about what we refuse to take. The council paused. The final trial. The voice announced. The ground opened. A massive energy surge rushed toward Ira's platform. Too fast, too strong. Ethan ran without thinking. He stood in front of her. The energy struck him. Pain exploded through his body. He screamed. His vision went white, but he did not fall. The bond flared brighter than ever. The energy slowed, split, wrapped around him. The council gasped. This should kill a human. A voice whispered. Ethan barely stood. Blood ran from his nose. His hands shook. I am human, he said. That's why it didn't. The energy faded. I ran to him, holding him tightly. Light surrounded them both. The council's glow softened. The trial is complete, the voice said. The human stands. The platform changed again. The ring dimmed. You have proven something rare, the council continued. A species, willing to suffer rather than surrender the weak. Ethan breathed heavily. So what now? The council spoke together. Now the galaxy must change. Human ships received the signal. The trial was over, but the consequences were just beginning. As Ethan collapsed to one knee, Aurora whispered in his ear, you passed. Not because you were strong, but because you were human. The ring structure slowly powered down. The cold light faded, and the ancient symbols across its surface went dark. What had judged worlds for ages now stood silent. The trial was finished, but the galaxy was not the same. Ethan stood at the center of the platform, breathing hard. His body ached, but he was alive. Aurora stood beside him, holding his hand with both of hers. Her glow was softer now, warmer, like sunrise after a long night. The council's voices returned, no longer distant or cold. The bond stands, they said, and so does the human. A path of light formed across the platform, leading back to Ethan's ship. Human vessels moved closer, shields low, weapons still silent. No one dared to break the moment. When Ethan and Aira returned to the ship, the crew stared in disbelief. Some saluted. Others simply bowed their heads. He was still the same man, but the galaxy no longer saw him that way. News spread faster than any ship could travel. A human had faced the ancient trial and refused every path of selfish power. A human had taken pain meant for a child not his own. For the first time, the phrase human protector entered galactic speech. Back on Orion Gate, the station felt different. Aliens, who once laughed, now stepped aside in respect. Guards lowered their weapons when Ethan passed. Merchants watched Aira with awe. Not greed. The station leader met Ethan privately. You changed our laws without writing a single one, he said. Ethan shook his head. I just did what felt right. Aira smiled. That is how the strongest laws are born. Days passed. Repairs were made. Trade resumed. But something deeper had shifted. Other Luminari survivors began to emerge from hiding. Drawn by the signal of a successful bond, they came carefully, watching, testing. Humans welcomed them. Not with chains. With open hands. Aira stood taller now. Still small, but no longer fragile. Her species aged differently. When she spoke, leaders listened. One evening, Ethan stood at a viewport, watching ships pass through the stars. Aira climbed onto the railing beside him. Do you regret it? She asked. He thought of the pain, the fear, the responsibility. No, he said. I'd do it again. She nodded, satisfied. You know, she said, the word you call husband does not mean what ours means. Ethan raised an eyebrow. What does it mean? It means chosen family, Aira said. Not ownership. Not command. A promise to stand, Ethan smiled. I can live with that. The council made its final announcement weeks later. Humans were granted protector status, not rulers. Not weapons, guardians. Any species under threat could request human aid. Some laughed at first. Then they remembered the trial. Human ships began traveling the galaxy, not to conquer, but to defend. Small fleets, simple technology, strong will. Aira traveled with Ethan, learning, teaching, growing. One day, she would no longer be small. But the bond would remain. At a quiet moment, Aira placed her hand over Ethan's heart. Our story will be told, she said. They will say a tiny girl changed the fate of humans. Ethan corrected her gently. They'll say humans were already like this. They just needed someone to notice. Far beyond the stars, old enemies watched in silence. They no longer hunted Luminari. They feared humanity. And somewhere in the endless dark, a simple truth echoed across the galaxy. Never underestimate a species willing to protect what it loves.